3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Caveman Chronicles.
Today we'll be reviewing ZombieLand Double Tap. What are your thoughts on the movie, man?
So, man, I think it's definitely worth watching. I think it's a great movie. Not an amazing movie, but it's definitely a fun movie compared to 2009's version of the first ZombieLand.
Yeah.
I think they did great when they brought that movie over. Sequels always usually like really fucking suck, right? So
Agreed.
I think that they transitioned the characters over a 10-year time span. Like these actors came back after 10 years and got back in their roles, like just like if they never left.
Clockwork.
Yeah, like it's almost like the movie ended in 2009 and then they just made ZombieLand Part 2 the next year and then just waited all this time to release it, right? Like the actors felt like they were exactly the same characters.
You know, when how it's a 10-year difference. Mm-hmm. I also think that the way they started off the movie is like they're a family.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they brought out like they're a family, and you don't really see that in a year or two. It's still, work in progress.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like it was a great thing that they made it seem 10 years past because of that. You wouldn't have that in the first movie. Yeah. If you try to do it, I think that's where they would ruin it.
I think it's cool. I think it was a cool idea that actually 10 years in real life has passed. And they transitioned 10 years in the movie realm the same. They didn't try to just a few days later after the first movie or a year or two after. They let the younger actress actually grow up.
Yeah.
And they kept it in the same time frame. And besides the actors just playing their characters right, another thing was the writers themselves kept the
authenticity.
Of the characters, right? So like the characters felt like they never actually changed. Like ZombieLand hasn't changed.
Been the same
exactly since the first movie. It didn't change with the societal problems in our real life. Like certain agendas weren't pushed into the movie.
Yes, I agree.
They didn't censor Tallahassee because he was. Things in 2009 were very different than what things are like in 2019.
Oh yeah,
2019.
It's fucking 10 years different, man.
So things are very different. Some people are more sensitive to certain topics, certain kind of language now, right?
Yeah.
Versus 2009, and they didn't affect the characters. The writers kept the characters exactly the same. Tallahassee was exactly the same from the first movie in the second movie without being censored in any way possible.
Yeah.
The comedy was awesome.
It kept us laughing the entire movie.
Exactly.
It was great. I also like the character Madison. I thought she wasn't the best.
She was a good add-on.
But she was a good add-on because Columbus, he had a little fallout with Wichita and everything, and then she left with the girl. So it was like.
It was a good dynamic.
He picked up with her, and then it was like everything he wanted from his girlfriend, that she was listening to what he had to say instead of just being all out doing whatever.
The dynamics were very good.
So the dynamic it worked very well in the movie. So, all characters worked good.
Without throwing out spoilers or anything, but the dynamic of the actual other characters were really good. Like in the first movie, we didn't see a lot of other characters.
No, we didn't.
They had Bill Murray for a short time, but it was mostly just focused around them. And they had when he come up with the little rules, and he has like a certain person doing a kill of the week or whatever. Yeah. But in this movie, they actually throw in a lot of new characters, and they fit pretty well into the dynamics of the movie. They add comedy, right? They add their own little value of comedy. The comedy is another thing that didn't change. Like the humor was exactly the same. Like it wasn't like a different. Once people do sequels, it's like the humor changes a bit. They try too hard.
And
make something too funny.
Ruin the movie like that.
And it's like I would feel like that character really wouldn't do that in the first movie, but now you're making him do or say these certain things just to try to be funnier than it was before, or change the humor around. The humor was still the same. Like it felt like the cast never changed, the writers never changed, everything exactly was the same. Like it was a perfect transition after 10 years to make a sequel. The sequel was nothing new. Nobody tried to make a new spin on ZombieLand. They let's get everything that worked in ZombieLand 1, let's put that in ZombieLand 2, and let's add one or two things here, but don't change the dynamics of the movie. The movie is still about the rules, the
how to survive in Zombieland.
the conflicts between Tallahassee and Columbus. And how they interact with the two girl characters, Little Rock and what was the other girl's name?
Little Rock and Wichita.
Wichita, and how they all fit together, but they how they work together, but they dysfunction at the same time.
Because they're also missing something. It was some also like a you could possibly say it towards the ending like a love comedy. At the end,
they have love.
They have love. They have comedy
with a lot of good action.
A lot of good action for the zombies. Yeah, I agree. It was a funny movie, a funny comedy. And the thing that I really like is, I love zombie movies. I think zombie movies are great.
Yeah.
But they don't make a lot of them because it's very hard to make zombie movies. It's very hard.
I mean, it takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work, but I think it's to be creative that way and make a comedy out of zombie movies. I think it's the best creativity you could fucking do.
Yeah, because they've done other ones. I think like what was it? Was it Shaun of the Dead?
Shaun of the Dead.
And it was like it was the humor was kind of forced. It was like forced humor, right? So, but with Zombieland, the good thing about Zombieland is like people talk about the zombie trend is already dying out. Like, when it came out in 2009, the first one, it was like on the rise.
Yeah, it was on the rise, but now it's like
because I agree
because I don't agree with the same thing over and over again.
I don't agree with that for the fact that. The reason why I don't feel like the zombie world, the zombie movies are dead, are because people are only saying that because they're used to watching The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead has 2 shows. This show's been dragging on for this whole entire time span that Zombieland hasn't existed, right? They've only made like one other good movie, World War Z, where the zombies are really intense. Like you watch that movie, you're like, holy shit, You watch The Walking Dead. You watch The Walking Dead, and you're like. You get tired. People have gotten tired of that show because the zombies are crap in that show.
Yeah,
they're
there's one thing I like about the movie that they showed the Walking Dead comic book. Columbus was reading, and he goes, "It's not that good."
One of his lines was like, "Oh, it's so unrealistic.
It's so unrealistic. It's not that good."
Right?
So that's true because it's not because you gotta have adaptability. You gotta have different zombies.
Exactly. Which is something they explored in this movie.
Yeah. They like how they did the T-800s.
Yeah, the T-800s, the Homers,
and
then
the Ninja,
the Ninja, and then they had the Stephen Hawking. They had categories for different zombies and different.
Yeah, these are new zombies that were added on. New names that were added on. Well, we ever have a zombie apocalypse ever, I feel like the zombies are gonna evolve to cold weather, to hot weather, to the environment,
to how things are happening, and that's one thing that the Walking Dead is lacking, right? They don't have zombies that adapt.
What they do is
they have very slow walking zombies.
They wait till they die out because that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna die out because they have no food, and then they don't adapt to their surroundings.
Yeah, so people have gotten tired of the zombie movies, the zombie trend because Walking Dead has killed it. Right?
Yes,
killed it by creating these slow zombies. And then the world that they live in is more about human conflict. How people interact with other people. It's always some type of villain, right? The show's not concentrated around surviving from zombies.
No,
versus Zombieland.
Zombieland, you gotta survive the zombies.
They're not focused on like Walking Dead. They're not focused on people creating these camps or these places where they're trying to kill everybody else or they're trying to
take
capture
control
people.
of everything.
Exactly. They're just focused on the chaos of what the zombie apocalypse would be like if zombies were more realistic than the Walking Dead zombies, right?
Yeah.
They're people that have gotten infected and have this fever that makes them go crazy and get angry and eat other people. So they're still kind of like alive. They're not like technically dead.
Yeah.
But the Walking Dead has created these dead zombies that are super slow, rotting away, that people can literally outwalk them.
Yeah.
Versus Zombieland is like
you gotta fight them.
Yeah, you gotta fight.
You have no chance. You gotta use your guns. You gotta use your weapons because you got no chance of surviving. Like how they brought out these T-800s. The T-800s are they're Terminator fucking zombies, man. They don't stop until they try to get to you. Like there was a scene where they shot one in the head, fell down, got right back up, and kept on going. He had to shoot him a couple more times till he got to him on the floor, and then he stomped on his head.
Yeah, so they're in the movie. They're very creative on killing zombies. They have the kill of the week, the kill of the year, kill of the century, you know, all these things.
Yeah.
Like, they're very creative on how to get different kills depending on how the zombie is.
Yeah.
You know, The Walking Dead doesn't have that. So, getting back to like the review of the movie as a general, I think it's a good movie to watch. I think if you liked ZombieLand 1, you're definitely gonna like
ZombieLand 2 was super funny.
Yeah,
Man.
I think it's great humor, great movie overall.
Yeah.
Actors mesh well. The characters are good.
The creativity of bringing back zombie movies on that end of a comedy, being a comedy, and not just
with intense zombies.
With intense zombies, and not just being a horror flick.
Yeah,
it's just being a comedy movie. I think they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I completely agree. Even people haven't watched part 1. Watch part 1. It's awesome.
Yes.
It's fun, and you'll see that when you watch part 1 and you go to jump to watch part 2, it kind of feel like the same movie. Like it just continued how a sequel is supposed to feel.
Yes.
Versus, this feels like a completely different movie. The actors don't feel the same. You know, they might have gotten rid of 1 or 2 actors and replaced them with somebody else now. Like everything meshes well. Same. It's very, very good sequel. Like one of the best sequels made from an original without ruining the original.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% on you with that. Because the movie was great on its own. Mm-hmm. Even if there wasn't even ZombieLand 1.
Yeah, if this was part 1.
This is part 1, they'll just stand alone by itself being good.
It's a great movie.
It was a great movie. It was really funny.
I agree. I think these are the more type of zombie movies we need. Zombie shows, if we do have zombie shows. More stuff like this.
More realistic.
Not more
realistic, but more the zombies more intense,
more
like fast paced,
more relatable, right? Yes. More relatable than all the extra drama that is in The Walking Dead with all these how people interact with each other, which I understand has its own merit, has its own world to exist, but that show has been dragged out for so long, so many years already, so many seasons, that has killed off the zombie vibe for other people that are trying to get like, oh man, another zombie show, another zombie movie.
Yeah, I feel like that. That's why I haven't made any other zombie movies, because like I said earlier, I love zombie movies. Mm-hmm. I think they're great. A lot of thinking, a lot of creativity goes into those movies.
Yeah, World War Z was a great movie.
Yeah, World War Z had its own.
I wish they would have made more.
I agree. You want to see more of what happens, but they got the cure at the end, so they
did the whole movie in one.
Yeah.
But they could have kept that movie going. They could
continue ZombieLand, the third part.
Which I think they should.
They should, because it's gonna bring.
They can.
It'd be great. It'd be great to have a third part with Woody Harrison.
Yeah.
Emma Stone. You know, it'd be great. It'd be
they as actors, they all mesh very well. The cast feels good. The writers of the movie, if they continue doing what they're doing, bro, they can keep this going for at least 1 to 2 more movies.
Yes.
Because they can explore so much, right?
Yeah,
they've kept it fun and entertaining at a very basic level.
Yes.
So they can keep taking it.
They were
in
Florida first, weren't they? They
were. Where the hell were they? I honestly don't remember where the first movie starts. He's from Columbus.
He's from Columbus,
but he's like in a university somewhere.
Yeah, he's somewhere in a university. But honestly, they started off in one spot and then made it to Washington D.C. I feel like they should explore the East Coast and see what zombies they could find in the East Coast.
Well, they are on the East Coast. They're in Washington.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
They're on the East Coast.
Then come back. Then go to the. Oh my God! I meant going to the West Coast. Go to the West Coast and figure out what type of zombies are on the West Coast.
Go to the West Coast,
or go to a different.
Maybe go to a different country. You know, who knows? You know, or other people from other countries come over here. You know.
Because
there's a lot to explore.
Or even they do a whole movie off of freaking zombie kills, like the zombie kills of the year.
Yeah, man. You know, they can deal with, you know, in this movie they didn't really focus on snow, but they could where there's a lot of snow and actually have to deal with the zombies that have existed inside this snow environment.
Yeah,
they've adapted to the snow.
Yeah, because it started off with the zombie in the snow. Because you know what? Yeah, the second one. You know how the camera came in? It was all snow. And then you had the Stephen Hawking zombie that they first brought out, the first one.
I don't remember that.
No? It was at the beginning, at the very beginning of the movie. It's all snow, it's all cold. And he was talking about how the zombies have adapted to their environments. and everything.
I don't know. I mean,
Well,
either way, they have a lot to explore.
They have a lot to explore.
They can explore different parts of the U.S., a lot of different conflicts. You know, if they do want to explore some type of colony that, you know, wants to control people or tries to capture them and, like, you know, kind of like some Walking Dead stuff thrown in there.
I think they'll steer away from that just because they don't. I feel like they want to. I just don't think it would be a comedy if they would do it like that.
I mean, I think it still can be a comedy, right? Because
Yeah.
the way the actors, the way that Tallahassee and how the different characters interact with each other can definitely keep it as a comedy, and then throw in a little bit more like dark, you know, scenes happening, a little bit more seriousness, but still have that good comedy as a basis, right? With just a little more drops of darkness into the movies, and they can just explore that, right? They can just, it might not have to be the entire focus of the movie,
just
but
a
it can
small
portion.
part.
Because you know that's what the movies are based, right? They always have little pit stops in different locations and deal with certain little scenarios depending on how it is, and that can just be a small portion of the movie, but you know it can just continue exploring different scenarios, different situations in the movie. But I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, we wrap it up right here.
I think I give it a good. It's a good movie to watch. It's worth watching. It's an enjoyable movie to watch. It's fun. You'll be laughing the whole time.
So, from 1 out of 5, what do you give it?
From 1 out of 5, I think I would give it, for a sequel, I would give it a 4. Because we're talking about original movies, it's a different rating.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
As a rating for a sequel, I definitely give it a 4 because I feel it's one of the best sequels I've ever seen to other movies. A lot of other movies usually make big shifts in the sequels, and the sequels don't feel the same anymore. You know, so
I agree. I agree with you on that. I would give it a solid. I would give it a solid 4 as well because it's a great sequel.
Good humor. You know, the movie hasn't really shifted a lot from the first one.
No.
Everything feels like a good transition within the 10-year gap.
Yes.
Everything feels very solid and concrete, nothing shady or shifty about it. So I definitely give it a 4, and I think it's definitely a movie you guys should go watch, enjoy.
Yeah.
And
take your girlfriend out, your mom, your sister, kids,
anybody. You know,
anybody. That movie.
I think it's a movie. It's a good movie for anyone.
Yeah, so, I agree. And if you're not scared, if you're scared of scary movies, remember this is a comedy.
This is a good way to take dip your toes in horror movies when it's not really a horror movie. It's still enjoyable. So
yes, I agree.
Go watch it. It's a fun movie. It's a
real fun movie,
and it's good. It's a good movie. As a sequel, it's very, very, very good. I definitely agree. Any last words?
No, not really, man.
That's it.
That's it. We're good.
All right. Dale.